Hey Melissa, I can definitely check this one out. I'm going to grab a screenshot of it right quick and I'll start working it to get caught up with you. So, the addition method, obviously, when we have stuff that's kind of laid out like this, we want to set it up in such a way that we can eliminate either the x or the y variable. It really doesn't matter. You can go after the x's and cancel that, or you can go after the y's and eliminate that, okay? First things first, I'm just going to rewrite this second equation so that it lines up more with the first one. So what I mean by that, see if I get my little pen working here. We have for our first line, come on pen, there we go. We have our first line, we have 4x equals 5y plus 1. And I'm just going to rearrange the second one. I'm going to write that as 8x equal to negative 7y minus 2. So hopefully you can follow what I'm doing there. I just want the y's lined up. I want the constant numbers lined up. And keep in mind, because this is a 7, we always look to the left, right? So that tells me that this is a negative 7. That has to come along. Then what we're going to do is we're going to combine these in such a way that will eliminate either the x's or the y's. Now, 5 and 7, that doesn't really go in too well, but 4 and 8 do. So if I take this top equation and I multiply the whole thing by negative 2, I'll get a negative 8 here, right? Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. I'll add that. My x's will go away because negative 8 plus 8 is 0. So let's go ahead and do that. And I presume you already did this anyway or something similar. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply that out. So my top equation now is going to be negative 8x equals negative 2 times 5, which is negative 10y minus 2. And we're going to combine that with our second equation, which is unchanged, 7y minus 2. And then we'll just add those up, right? We're going to combine those. So negative 8 plus 8 is 0. I'll just write this over here, 0. 0 is going to equal negative 17y. Negative 17y minus 4. Okay, and then we'll just do some order of operations. I have limited space on this tiny screen, so I'm going to just clean some of this up. Please bear with me for a sec. I'll get rid of all this stuff. Okay, now we're going to do some algebra. I'm going to add 4 to both sides, so 4 equals negative 17y. And then, as I'm sure you got to, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 17. So y equals negative 4 over 17. 17 is a prime number, so I know that's in lowest terms. Okay? Now, don't do the decimal thing. Like if you're calculating this, don't do a decimal. All right? It always wants integers or fractions, so it's not going to take a decimal. You're going to get that marked wrong anyway. And decimals in general are approximations, right? A fraction is always exact. A decimal will never be as exact as a fraction. So, what we're going to do now, we know that y is negative 14 over 17, and we just pick one equation. It doesn't matter which one. I'll pick the first one, just to say. That's right, so that's going to be 4x equals 5. Now, instead of y, I'm going to write in negative 4 over 17 plus 1. So that's my original equation, and I just subbed in y. I subbed in negative 4 over 17 for y. So, the question I suspect you're having is, what do we do now with all this fractiony stuff? Well, remember, this is like 5 over 1. And when we multiply fractions, we multiply the top and the bottom. So really, this is 5 times negative 4, which is negative 20 over 17. Okay? Plus 1. Now, when we add fractions, remember we have to have common denominators. So right now this is like 1 over 1. I need to scale that up. So I'm going to make that 17 over 17 because again 17 divided by 17 is 1, and now I have common fractions, common denominators I should say. Next I'm going to combine the numerators. So negative 20 plus 17 is negative 3, and the denominators just come along. That's it. Okay? Let me make some more room. I get excited and I start writing big, and it never works out well for anyone. Okay, so now we'll just do some order of operations. To get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Right? I'm just writing it old school here just for the sake of things. Recall that when we basically divide a number, and again you can think of 4 as a fraction over 1, we change the sign to multiplying, so I'm going to do that, and we flip our second fraction or take the reciprocal or the inverse or what have you. So now we can just multiply that out. X is going to be negative 3 over 17 times 4. I have no idea what that is. I should write the other way. 17. You probably have your calculator out and you can skip this portion if you want, although I'd encourage you to work it out. 68. Right, so we have 3 over 68. 6 plus 8 is 14, so that's not really divisible by 3, so I think that's going to be our answer right there. Now keep in mind we always want an ordered pair, so we always put the x component first, which is negative 3 over 68, comma, our y component, which is negative 4 over 17. Don't forget your brackets or parentheses, but that should give it to you right there. So I hope that helps. Let me know if it doesn't, and yeah, we'll talk again, and if not, thanks.